Alright, I'm gonna rush through this pretty quick without a lot of fanfare because I am quite exhausted after the last week of doing non-stop Akuma lab work and filling out this 900 row document. Uh, so anyways, a couple things. Alright, one, there's some random tech that appeared at that some of the top level Cammy players did at EVO that was successful, so I'm just gonna quickly run through that now. The first thing was this, where if the opponent backtechs in this situation, it really looks like you're gonna get on the other side, but you in fact land on this side. So I forget which Cammy player, I think it was like maybe Mizuha or something that did this, but anyway, so the person thought they were going to be on the other side and then they did not parry or whatever, so he immediately did stand medium punch and then confirmed off of it and got the kill. So little knowledge check gimmick, just so you're aware. You might catch some people with this. I don't think knowledge check gimmicks are like a bad thing. Like, you'll definitely be able to land them on opponents that aren't aware of it or that momentarily forget if you use them very sparingly. So little knowledge check stuff like that I don't think is a bad thing. So the next thing that multiple of the Cammy players did at EVO is off of the hard knockdown sweep, they would walk forwards and then they would either do they would set up a jump cross up or a very deep dive kick. I don't know exactly how they set it up or if they do a cross-up version of it, because they pretty much always just go for the dive kick. But anyways, yes, this caught some people, most people blocked it. Another one of those little knowledge check gimmicks. But it's not a bad thing to do, and it even if they just block it, it allows you to get, if I put them to block after first hit, it allows you to get plus frames within throw range in a way that you'd either have to do a safe jump to get or something. Now this is not a safe jump, but it will confuse DP input since you could go on either side. So they would have to do an autocorrect DP. So it's not a bad thing to do, definitely. Pretty fundamentally solid. The other thing that I saw at EVO that I actually somehow did not know is that because this, off of this basic setup, doing the medium hooligan does hits like 1 frame meaty, you actually can get 9 frame options afterwards. I knew that you could get it off of more plus frames. I, for some reason, just didn't know that you could get it off of this. So you can do stuff like sweep afterwards, and more significantly, you can get light spiral arrow level 1 and level 3 off of this, where obviously you normally can't. So this popped up in one of the EVO matches as well. Another thing, pseudo gimmick, is that, well, it is just a straight gimmick, but this is another thing that people will not be prepared for multiple times, probably in a single match, even people that are aware of it, which is obviously everyone's known that this standing heavy punch target combo, Cammy players do this sometimes. It's 0 on block if they do this, it's +2 if they do the EX dive kick in throw range, which is pretty good for her. However, it's always universally punishable. They can punish it with like anything. Guaranteed punish point at that point. That being said, you have to react to specifically the second hit and interrupt it before it gets to the third hit or the dive kick. And the punish can sometimes be awkward because if you let it go into the normal target combo, you're grounded when you get punished, but if you do the dive kick, you get airborne floated when you get punished, which some characters can't confirm off of as well. And the player would have to react to whether or not they hit you grounded or airborne. And also, this is just something that they have to react quite quickly. It's like a Tekken punish, where they just have to immediately recognize that you did the one thing and then immediately punish it and interrupt it. So, realistically speaking, you can get away with this quite a bit. Like, you can get away with this probably 2 or 3 times again in a single match against an opponent, I would say. Probably 1 or 2 times against a strong opponent that knows how to punish this, but yeah, you can just steal some turns, steal some frames. Going into the EX dive kick is, the EX one is questionable. Like, obviously you want the plus frames and stuff, but if they do punish it, then you're getting punished plus you lose the meter anyways. So I don't have any particular advice on whether or not you should go for the +2 if you're going to sneak it in. But yeah, you can probably get away with this, and people did get away with it at EVO. Alright, we're going to get a little meta here. So first, that's stand jab normally, and this is stand jab counter hit. Now I'm going to record myself going over the recording I just made again. Alright, we're going to get a little meta here. There we go. Damn, bro. Okay, so first things first. Let's look at this animation here. Let's turn off the sound, because fuck that. So, we go in animation. This is a normal hit. And then it looks... Let's blow it up a little bit. So this is what a normal hit spark looks like in this game, okay? There's a bit of a yellow explosion, there's some, like, streak line particle effects, and then a much more heavy orange little, like, burst behind them where the strike lands. Then there's a little white smoky texture around it, and then afterwards there's a blurry circle that appears. And then it fades out like that. Now, that's what a normal one looks like. I'm going to unblow it up a little bit so that we can see what a counter hit looks like. So I turned on counter hit. Okay, so now, as you can see, the difference is the counter hit has these like sort of machinery sparks going off. It has maybe a more intense light in the middle, but the most visibly clear factor is it has these streak lines. They instantly appear. These are frame 1. As soon as the hit goes, these are instantly visible. And they're as big as they will get, okay? So, here's the thing about counter hit confirms is that if I do it like this, as you can see, the counter hit... This is like frame 1 or frame 2. The counter hit is only starting to fade in right now. This counter hit label that appears on the left side of the screen, that appears on like your side of the screen, is only really visible like 2 or 3 or 4 frames into the attack. Whereas these glowing light streaks that, as we can see, are quite big and were not there at all on normal hit. So anywhere around, those light streaks appear instantly. That's the best way that you can counter confirm. This is the clearest immediate visual indicator that you can counter confirm. As soon as there's a hit spark, these yellow lights. Now, the only problem with using that to react to counter hit confirms for Cammy to do stand jab counter hit confirms is that you have to get used to this in training mode because those light sparks are random. These particle effects are random. So, as you can see, sometimes the light sparks go out, like, you know, down here, whatever. So, that time, so, this time, the light sparks went, like, here and here. Yeah, let me take some of this shit off the screen so you can see it as clearly as possible. How do I remove this fucking thing? Okay. So as you can see, a normal hit doesn't have those, like, big glowing effects around it, whereas a counter hit, there's a much bigger, and then in somewhere, some visual, as you can see, that time the spark came out, like, the lights show came out all the way over that way. That time it came out here and a little one here, etc. That time it came out here and there. That time there's a big one there. So as you can see, the particle effects, the visual effects appear quite randomly. But overall, like, once you get used to it, you can get your peripheral vision to just look for the overall effects happening. And then if you put counter hit on random, after that, you want to look in your peripheral vision for the light streaks that appear out. Stop getting counter hit. And then try to use that to hit confirm. So we're going to try to put random block, random counter hit. Like so. So, we're not confirming off of hit, we're not confirming off of block, we're confirming specifically off of counter hit, using our peripheral vision to see those light streaks. Oops, that was bad. There we go. Nope. Etc. So that requires some practice to get used to that. I'm always bad at this kind of reaction check because I always just, my reactions are fine, but I always just overcommit and, like, start to get too predictive with it. But anyways, so if you're looking for, like, the absolute most optimal way to counter hit confirm as sharply as possible without context clues, then that would be it. Alright, next I have another piece of tech, and I've already talked about this a little bit in some of my coaching videos that I have on my sub channel, but let's say you do like this into drive rush, whatever, or any situation where you're like +2, +3, etc. Okay? +2 is slightly better for this. So, the defensive options the opponent will rotate through is, probably, other than just like other defensive options like parry or drive impact or something, they're gonna do a delay tech, so normal throw at a delay of like 6 frames, etc. Block all. They're going to do nothing and just block. They're going to backdash, they're going to back jump, and they're gonna EXDP or hit buttons or whatever. So the thing is, so let's say we do an immediate throw, this will beat do nothing, and this will beat crouching light punch, but this will lose to tech, backdash, and back jump. Well, it won't lose to back jump because Cammy can chase it down with a variety of options. But anyway, so it'll lose to tech and backdash, etc. Now you can also strike. Now this will beat backdash and back jump and button, but it'll lose to delay tech and do nothing. Or rather, they'll just block, okay? Next you can do shimmy. This will beat teching, but it will lose to backdash and back jump. And it may or may not beat button or delay button. And it may or may not beat them if they do nothing, because they might react to it and then press a button. So it gets a little bit questionable at that point. Then next you have fucking this. EX whatever. Bit costly. This will beat delay tech and lose heavily to back jump, because they'll just punish you for this. It will hit backdash, but you won't get a combo. and you'll just get hit out if they mash. Next, you have Crouching Heavy Punch. This will tend to... This is plus on block if they do nothing, so that's good. If they do a delay tech, this tends to counter hit them. And if they backdash and back jump, if they back jump, it clips them like that, and then you're plus 16, which means you can drive rush forwards. If they backdash, you can clip them like that, which, depending on their backdash, you may be able to confirm, etc. So this is broadly the most powerful option that beats the most options. The only thing it loses to is if they immediately mash. So if you rotate between this and this, that's like the most complete, holistic way of rotating your options. But you actually have... But it still doesn't punish back jump that well. But you actually have one more option, and that is back roundhouse. Now, if we have the opponent crouching, as they're probably going to be doing, back roundhouse will whiff, like this. Now, the important thing about this, and this is more relevant in Street Fighter V, so if you didn't play that game, what you do is that you do high-hitting moves like this with multiple active frames, and then while they're crouch blocking, if they hit throw tech, their body will stand up, and they will stand up into the high attack that you do, which is why it's incredibly effective at beating beating delay tech. So, like, let's say you did crouch fierce against normal tech, and it hits them there, but let's say they delay it by 8 frames instead of whatever. Then they still block. But if they're delaying by 8 frames like this, back roundhouse still hits them, because they're standing up into it. So this will more broadly beat all manners and all timings of delay tech. This also more effectively beats backdash and back jump. Especially if you're in the corner, like in this scenario, this is a great option because this, if you have a little bit of drive gauge and level 1, this is free. So this is like your best conversions possible for beating delay tech, back jump, backdash, etc. If they delay tech... Oops, I forgot. Done. These are also your most optimal combos into level 1. Because level 1 always does like its max damage when you do these side switch routes. No, not back jump. I already did back jump a bunch. Backdash. So as you can see, it beats all the things that they might do to try to escape a throw. Which means you can use this into back throw or into back roundhouse. And you can have a very heavy approach that will beat all options, because back throw will beat them if they mash too. The only difference is that if they do nothing, it's riskier to throw this out because they may just wait for it to whiff and then punish it, or react. More likely they won't expect it, but they'll still react to it and punish it with something. But in terms of value, especially when you're in the corner, this is very, very high for and it's consistently high against all of the escape options that they might do. The only difference that you have to get used to for using this technique is that if you see you caught them out of a back jump, you have to do drive rush back medium punch instead of stand heavy punch, which is what you get off of the other routes. And yeah, there you go. Alright, next little tidbit is that I understand why people don't do this as much, but stand heavy punch on block into drive rush is Cammy's most effective drive rush cancel for applying pressure. It's obviously the highest damage one on hit, but not by significant margin because she usually gets the same routes off of crouching medium kick and crouching medium punch. But importantly, if she does raw drive rush nothing, she's only -5, which means that she can naturally bait out EXDPs. Which not all characters have access to a drive rush cancel that can bait out EXDPs. So she can just do this, and because it's not guaranteed that they can hit her with an EXDP, if she puts a gap in, it means that you can put gaps, and more powerful gaps at that, than you could do with your other cancel buttons. And especially crouch medium kick and crouch medium punch already have gaps into crouch fierce that can be interrupted by 4-framers, but if you do stand heavy punch, it not only builds you more drive gauge and takes more drive gauge from the opponent on block, and is a true block string into crouch heavy punch, which is also +5, so if you wanted to, you could true block string again into back medium punch to maximize the amount of drive gauge you take from the opponent without them having the opportunity to parry. But you can put a gap and then do a slightly delayed crouch heavy punch, and then you can start building drive gauge again. And it's really good. Next is standing light punch single hit confirm. So in this scenario, let's say you get like whatever, drive rush in, stand jab, and then let's say the opponent may do backdash or crouch light punch or do nothing, for instance, and let's put do nothing's rate at, oh wait, no, I can't change rates here, whatever. So anyways, you can do this, and you can single hit confirm the jab into back medium punch. Like so. So, single hit confirm that. If you're not used to these like Street Fighter V-esque single hit confirms, what you mostly do, especially in this game, is you look at the health bar of the opponent, and then as soon as you see the yellow appear because you got the hit, you use that as the clearest visual indicator that you got the hit, and then you just confirm off of that. And if their health bar doesn't move, you just don't do the back medium punch. And that way you can have a powerful, relatively high damage single hit confirm, which a lot of the time Cammy does not have the highest damage things to punish back jump and backdash in this circumstance, because she could get like, I don't know, stand medium punch, light kick, whatever. But you get that. Higher value, you build a lot more drive gauge and you build a lot more super, and it's just better in every way, and it gives you more consistent opportunities to go into level 2 for good value. You have more combo routing possibilities when you get to do those launcher target combos, etc. So yeah, standing light punch single hit confirm in close range to back medium punch. Okay, this next thing is actually like very important, and this is punish counter roundhouse. The thing about this button is that if the opponent backtacks, Cammy has a lot, like, you know, great button, everything about it, but if the opponent backtacks, you're not really getting in or whatever, and you can drive rush it across the screen and get like a meaty maybe, but, you know, you can't get into throw range. It's like whatever. Now here's the thing. The difference between regular Hooligan or even Charge Hooligan is that EX Hooligan changes its speed based on how far the opponent is. So if you're point blank, it goes like very slowly, and if you're at max range, it like shoots across the screen. Now if the opponent is flying away from you, it follows them as well at an appropriate level rate of speed. So this will actually travel you forwards way faster than a drive rush would. Now, the thing about this, so this is literally the exact scenario that EX Hooligan was made for. And, like, think about it, you're not doing it that much differently than how you would do a normal, like, Hooligan is much better. Hooligan and especially EX Hooligan are much better because of the nerfs to parry. The fact that it has more recovery. Because if they do wake up parry to try to avoid, like, the meaty or something, or if they do wake up reversal or something, you can still just fast fall, and then you can block the reversal, and then if you see the parry, you have more than enough time to just walk up and throw them. And so one option deals with both of those EXDP wake up and whatever, and it's not that different from just doing drive rush Oki and then sometimes blocking to bait out a DP or a parry. Like, the cost is not, like, and here's the other thing that people don't understand. When you do a raw drive rush, I talked about this recently, probably in a couple of videos, but when you do a raw drive rush, that is like the heaviest meter penalty, and your drive gauge will not start recovering for another like 4.5 seconds. Whereas if you do an EX move, it'll start recovering in like 2.5 seconds, or 2.5 seconds about. So effectively, when you do a raw drive rush, you're spending 2 bars, and when you do an EX move, you're spending like 2.4 bars. So the difference is not 1 bar to 2 bars. It's actually very, very close in terms of your effective overall drive gauge you're spending. So yeah, just do this. Fast fall, whatever, you get, if they block, you're +2 in throw range. Done. You get overhead. You get throw. So you get legitimate guess. And you can bait out DP and parry and stuff and then punish it on reaction. And then just play the regular neutral in the close range that Cammy is already doing good at anyways. If you get the hit, here's the other thing that was buffed in Season 2. No matter, even if you're all the way at this end of the corner, if you get one stand heavy kick, go into this, land the throw, one combo takes you corner to corner from there. You're always guaranteed to get the corner if you land the throw off of this, no matter where it started from. Because of this target combo buff. So yeah, use EX Hooligan off of this. Please. Please do this. Alright, this next piece of theoretical tech is pretty high execution and also niche, so keep that in mind. But this is for this scenario, where you do this. This is mainly for this scenario, because this is a scenario where you can bait out the EXDP, but then if the opponent's going to delay tech or something, you won't be able to just walk backwards and shimmy them, so you would also have to delay tech yourself, which, now, generally people don't tend to neutral jump unless you're a command grab character after you do a drive rush cancel like this, but if they did do a neutral jump on this and you were to... So if you do this, wait and block and then try to delay tech, in case they delay tech, you get hit by this. So it's sometimes helpful to have something else that you can do that will still block the DP but will also punish the throw. Because you could backdash here and avoid the throw if they delay tech. But then you'll just get hit by the EXDP anyway, so it kind of defeats the point of not doing this into something. So how can you block for a moment, but then still beat this? Now, the main way that you would do this is you block for a moment, and then you jump. Because jump startup frame to throw invincible. So, if I were to demonstrate this, EXDP. So I block the EXDP. And jump the throw. Okay, now you can choose to jump forwards, backwards, whatever. But Cammy, at least, has the luxury of being able to do that. Block, buffer, EX dive kick, EX cannon strike. So you block for a moment, and then you forward jump, and then you do EX strike, and it will block the DP, but still beat their delay throw. And this is something that characters that have like jump options can do in these situations where, because you know, like there's lots of characters that like find themselves in situations where they can't walk backwards and avoid the throw, so they're stuck in a position where they have to be too active. And this is one of those ways that you can negate that slightly by blocking for a moment, then forward jump, EX dive kick.